Let's move on to part 2, the science of being great. Before we start the part 2 videos, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Summary of Chapter 1, Any person may become great. In this chapter, Wattles explains that every person possesses an inherent principle of power. By intelligently directing and using this power, we can develop our mental faculties and grow in any direction we choose. There is no limit to the growth we can achieve, and the potential for greatness exists within every individual, derived from the same divine substance. Great people are those who have tapped into this limitless reserve of power. While animals grow according to their nature, humans have the unique ability to consciously develop themselves without limits. Growth is essential for human happiness, and life without progress becomes unbearable. The chapter emphasizes that growth is the natural purpose of life for humans, just as it is for plants. However, while plants grow automatically, humans can direct their growth intentionally, making us capable of achieving anything we can imagine. Each person is unique and predisposed to grow along certain lines. This diversity in growth is what makes individuals distinct, much like how different plants grow in various ways. Though all people have the same potential, no two will develop exactly alike. Nonetheless, within every individual lies the potential for greatness, and in times of crisis, even the simplest people can rise to extraordinary heights. The key to greatness is self-activity. Instead of being controlled by circumstances like a football that reacts only when force is applied, we should become like a spring of flowing water, generating our own power and influencing our environment. Life's experiences are meant to drive us towards self-activity, so we can move from being passive recipients of external forces to active creators of our destiny. Ultimately, anyone can achieve greatness if they develop the principle of power within themselves. No one has more mental or spiritual power than we are capable of attaining. If we think and act from within, we can achieve our goals and master our fears. Example: Arnold Schwarzenegger's journey to greatness. Arnold Schwarzenegger's life is an example of Wattles' principle. Born in Austria, Schwarzenegger was not destined to remain a bodybuilder alone. From a young age, he harnessed his principle of power by focusing on clear goals. At 18, he won his first bodybuilding contest and went on to win 5 consecutive Mr. Universe titles. However, he didn't limit himself to bodybuilding. He set his sights on Hollywood and aimed to become a major movie star. Despite being criticized early in his acting career, he persisted and eventually became one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood through iconic roles in films like Conan the Barbarian and The Terminator. Schwarzenegger's ambitions didn't stop there. He became a successful businessman, investing in real estate and other ventures, and eventually ran for governor of California, winning the election in 2003. Throughout his life, Schwarzenegger displayed self-activity. He didn't let circumstances dictate his future, but continually set new, higher goals. His ability to grow and expand in different fields of life, bodybuilding, acting, business, and politics, demonstrates that there are no limits to human potential. He achieved greatness by consistently directing his mental and physical energy toward meaningful goals, proving that any person may become great. Key takeaways: unlimited growth potential. Every person has an inherent principle of power, which they can develop and use to achieve limitless growth in any area of life. Self-activity. To achieve greatness, individuals must be self-active, not passively controlled by circumstances. They must originate their actions from within and influence their environment. Purpose of life. Growth is essential for human happiness. Without progress, life becomes unbearable, and growth is the natural purpose of human life. Diversity and greatness. While all people have the same potential, each person grows along unique lines, contributing to the endless variety of human achievement. Genius in everyone. Every person, regardless of background, has the potential for greatness, and in times of crisis, even ordinary people can become extraordinary. Arnold Schwarzenegger's story illustrates how this principle works. By setting clear goals and remaining dedicated to them, he manifested success in various fields, proving that anyone can become great by tapping into their inner power. Before moving on to the next chapter, if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel. Summary of Chapter 2, Heredity and Opportunity. In this chapter, Wattles argues that heredity does not determine your greatness. Regardless of your ancestry or the circumstances of your birth, everyone has the opportunity to achieve success and greatness. Your mental faculties are not fixed by your parents or environment, and you are not born incapable of growth. Though we may inherit subconscious tendencies such as melancholy, cowardice, or ill temper, these traits can be overcome by forming new positive habits of thought. Any undesirable traits that may be passed down can be replaced with more desirable ones. You are not bound by your heredity, and you have the power to choose your mental and emotional path. Wattles emphasizes that opportunity is not limited by your background or circumstances, regardless of poverty, lack of education, or other disadvantages. There is nothing stopping you from rising to greatness if your attitude is right and you are determined to succeed. The same power that created you is present in the world around you, and it will align circumstances in your favor once you set yourself on the path of growth. People like Abraham Lincoln, George Stephenson, and James Watt started from humble beginnings but achieved greatness by harnessing the principle of power within themselves. No matter what obstacles stand in your way, whether it's poverty or inherited tendencies, you have the inner power to overcome them and achieve success. Example: W. Clement Stone's rise from poverty. W. Clement Stone's life serves as a perfect example of how heredity and difficult circumstances cannot hold back someone determined to succeed. Born into poverty, Stone had to start working as a child, selling newspapers on the streets of Chicago to support his family. Despite his challenging circumstances, Stone didn't let poverty define him. He harnessed the principle of power within himself, maintaining a positive attitude and setting ambitious goals for his life. Stone started a small insurance company with only $100 and built it into a multi-million-dollar empire. He did this by overcoming his inherited conditions and external circumstances through determination, clear vision, and consistent effort. Stone's success story demonstrates that regardless of one's starting point in life, anyone can rise above adversity. Like Abraham Lincoln, George Stephenson, and James Watt, Stone proves that heredity and opportunity do not limit greatness. The power to grow and achieve lies within each person. Key takeaways. Heredity does not determine your future. Though we may inherit mental or emotional tendencies from our parents, we can overcome them and shape our own minds and habits. Opportunity is always available no matter your background or current circumstances. You have the power to change your situation through your thoughts and actions. The principle of power: each of us has a power within us that, when used properly, can overcome all obstacles and lead to success and greatness. Historical examples of success: people like Lincoln, Stephenson, and Stone prove that anyone can rise from poverty or adversity to achieve greatness by applying the principle of power in their lives. Wattles encourages everyone to recognize their innate power, reject the limitations of heredity and circumstance, and move forward with confidence toward greatness. Before moving on to the next chapter, if you are enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel. Summary of Chapter 3: The Source of Power. In this chapter, Wattles emphasizes that greatness does not come solely from intellect, talent, or physical attributes. These are merely instruments we use to demonstrate greatness. The true source of greatness is wisdom, the ability to know the right thing to do and the right way to do it. Wisdom is the power to perceive the best ends and the best means to achieve them. Wisdom, however, is not inherent in ourselves alone, as our knowledge is limited. True wisdom comes from a higher source, specifically from God, who holds all knowledge and truth. Great individuals like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington were not remarkable because of superior intellectual reasoning, but because they were able to perceive truth through spiritual insight and apply it to their decisions and actions. This connection to divine wisdom allowed them to lead with clarity and strength, even when others were misled by appearances. Lincoln, for instance, navigated the complex issue of slavery with unwavering certainty, knowing the right ends to aim at and the best means to achieve those ends. His spiritual insight enabled him to guide the nation through one of its most difficult periods. Similarly, Washington's faith and courage, derived from his perception of truth, held the American colonies together during the Revolutionary War. Wattles further illustrates this point with the life of Benjamin Franklin, who achieved greatness in multiple areas: science, diplomacy, and writing. Franklin's success stemmed from his wisdom, which he used to guide his actions and contributions to society. His tolerance, openness to different beliefs, and calm protest against intolerance and bigotry demonstrate the power of wisdom and human fellowship. Franklin's wisdom allowed him to live a fulfilled life while contributing significantly to the happiness and well-being of others. Example: Abraham Lincoln's wisdom. Abraham Lincoln exemplifies the kind of wisdom Wattles describes. Despite limited formal education, Lincoln had the power to perceive truth and act accordingly. During the turbulent period of abolition and the Civil War, many people were confused or misled by superficial arguments on both sides of the slavery debate. However, Lincoln remained clear in his understanding of the issue. He recognized that slavery was wrong and saw the best means to end it without fanatical extremism or unnecessary violence. His wisdom, derived from a deeper spiritual insight, allowed him to navigate through political, military, and moral complexities. When faced with conflicting advice from his cabinet and opposition from many in the North, Lincoln's judgment remained steadfast. He knew what was right and acted on it. and this is what made him a great leader. His ability to tap into a higher source of wisdom enabled him to guide the nation through a critical time in history and abolish slavery, a feat many thought impossible. Key takeaways. Greatness is rooted in wisdom. True greatness comes from knowing the right thing to do and how to do it, not from intellect, talents, or physical attributes alone. Wisdom comes from a higher source because human knowledge is limited. True wisdom comes from connecting with God or a higher source that holds all knowledge and truth. Historical examples of wisdom leaders like Lincoln and Washington were able to perceive truth and act with certainty because they tapped into divine wisdom, not just human reasoning. The role of spiritual insight. Spiritual insight is key to achieving greatness. It allows individuals to perceive truth beyond appearances and make decisions that align with the greater good. Franklin's greatness through wisdom. Benjamin Franklin's success and contributions across multiple fields demonstrate how wisdom and an open mind can lead to a fulfilled and impactful life. Wattles encourages the reader to seek wisdom not just through intellect but by connecting with a higher power, thereby gaining the insight needed to achieve greatness and make a meaningful impact on the world. Before moving on to the next chapter, if you are enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel. Summary of Chapter 4, Preparation. In this chapter, Wattles emphasizes the importance of mental and moral preparation in achieving greatness. He argues that anxiety, worry, and fear are obstacles to perceiving truth and connecting with God, and until we overcome these mental states, we cannot become truly great. Key points. Overcoming anxiety. If you are anxious or worried, whether about finances, health, or other matters, it distorts your ability to see truth and receive inspiration from God. For financial worries, Wattles suggests studying the science of getting rich, which provides a solution to rising above poverty and attaining wealth through a spiritual and mental farad. For health worries, he assures that perfect health is available if one follows simple laws of life and casts out fear. Moral preparation. It is not enough to overcome material and physical worries, one must also rise above moral evils like lust, gluttony, greed, pride, envy, malice, and selfishness. Desire for wealth is legitimate, but it must be for the right reasons, such as fulfilling the soul's potential, not for indulging in physical pleasures or ruling over others. You must let go of all selfish ambitions and desires to outdo others. Instead, seek the highest good and noble ideals. Purifying intentions. Wattles encourages a thorough examination of your motives and intentions, ensuring that they align with your highest ideals. The practice of moral discipline is essential. You should cast out all negative thoughts and actions and commit to living in harmony with your noblest principles. The power of resolution. A firm resolution is needed to abandon all unworthy thoughts and deeds. Only once you have cleansed your mind and intentions are you truly prepared to step forward on the path to greatness. Example: overcoming financial anxiety. Imagine someone who is constantly worried about their financial situation. This person might feel trapped by their circumstances, unable to focus on personal growth because of the weight of their financial burdens. According to Wattles, the first step for this individual is to overcome their anxiety about money. They need to understand that the same divine source that provides for their mental and spiritual growth is also available for their material needs. By studying the principles in the science of getting rich, they can learn how to tap into this source and rise above financial struggles. As the person begins to shift their mindset from one of worry to one of certainty and trust in the divine process, they can let go of financial fears and focus on personal and spiritual development. This newfound peace will allow them to perceive truth more clearly and become more attuned to the opportunities around them. This process of overcoming anxiety, paired with a commitment to high moral standards, prepares them for greatness. In summary, Wattles emphasizes that mental, moral, and spiritual readiness are essential for anyone seeking greatness. By eliminating anxiety and negative desires, and purifying one's intentions, a person can align themselves with divine wisdom and take their first steps toward a powerful and fulfilled life. Before moving on to the next chapter, if you are enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel. Summary of Chapter 5, The Social Point of View. In this chapter, Wattles stresses the importance of adopting a positive social viewpoint to achieve greatness. Faith in a higher principle, the belief in an evolving, perfect yet incomplete world, is essential to rising above obstacles. This faith is not based on one's own abilities, but on a greater principle or force that drives progress. Key points. Faith in the process. All great men and women, such as Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Mahatma Gandhi, and Clara Barton, shared one characteristic: unwavering faith in a higher principle. This faith gave them strength during difficult times and allowed them to succeed. Faith is not merely believing in oneself, but in the evolutionary process of the world. Everything is constantly evolving toward completion, from nature to society, even though they may not yet be finished. The perfect yet unfinished world. The world, nature, society, and even industry are perfect as they are but incomplete. Wattles uses the analogy of evolution, where earlier forms of life were perfect for their time, but were part of an ongoing process of improvement. Similarly, society, politics, and industry are evolving, and the current challenges, monopolies, strikes, etc. are part of this progression. We should view these as temporary, necessary steps toward greater harmony and development. Rejecting a negative outlook. Complaining or viewing the world as broken leads to a descending mindset, limiting personal growth. On the other hand, seeing the world as a work in progress gives one an expanding mindset and strengthens faith, helping individuals contribute to social evolution. Instead of working to fix a decaying society, work with the hopeful spirit of completing an unfinished one. This positive viewpoint empowers you to create lasting, meaningful changes, shaping society through personal growth. As people rise above base thoughts and instincts, society will naturally evolve to higher levels of morality and function. Improving society starts with individual improvement, and the better each person becomes, the better the world becomes. Faith in the perfect yet unfinished nature of the world allows for constructive work toward completing society's evolution, rather than focusing on patching temporary issues. Adopt the highest viewpoint. Everything is good. Nature, society, and life are all inherently good, even if not yet complete. Problems only arise when we adopt the wrong personal attitudes toward these things. By aligning our viewpoint with this higher understanding, we can rise above fear, anxiety, and worry and take meaningful actions toward greatness, knowing that the world is progressing exactly as it should. Example: facing societal challenges with a positive viewpoint. Imagine someone who is frustrated with the current state of politics or social inequality. They may feel that society is broken and decaying, leading to hopelessness and a negative outlook on life. However, if they adopt Wattles' viewpoint, they will see these challenges as part of society's evolutionary process. The current state is perfect for the level of development we've reached, but it's also incomplete. With faith in this process, they can work toward positive change with the understanding that society is progressing and that their efforts are contributing to that completion. By maintaining this faith and seeing challenges as necessary for growth, the individual stays optimistic, productive, and empowered, knowing that they are part of a larger, unfolding plan toward a better world. In summary, the chapter encourages adopting a positive social viewpoint, recognizing that everything is perfect but evolving. Through faith in this process, one can rise to greatness and contribute to societal progress with hope and purpose. If you are enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel.